Nice to know.
Yeah, weight gain, hair loss, my chest hair turned white, and that happened years in anticipation of the vaccine.
So it's got time traveling side effects, is what you're saying here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just knowing that one day a vaccine would come.
Hey, at least you got white. I mean, it could be silver.
Okay, where are we at? Looks like the known lands.
Yes. At the end of last session, you guys had just convinced Dinalessa to send some dudes to teleport you to Elfwood.
And we had just teleported into Elfhome, and we had teleported into, because I remember this vividly, because the way you phrased it, we had teleported into an enormous mosaic with tiles the size of baby teeth.
Yeah, pretty much.
And she was telling us to shush because it was essentially Elven siesta.
Yeah, pretty much. And the mosaic is the size of 2 football fields next to each other.
Cool. Is everybody here?
Yep.
I believe so. I will also be late on April 1st. Same reason. So I apologize.
Are you sure?
I hope so. That's when my second shot is scheduled for.
So you think?
It's been a nightmare getting this thing. I don't know what it's been like in your states, but it's been in the army we would have used the term clusterfuck.
I'm trying to get Golan to get his aunt to move me up the list. So I don't,
Yeah, the first time I tried, I spent a half hour in a non-socially distant line, standing outside a clinic before they came out and told us they'd run out of vaccines hours ago. And that we were actually standing in line for is to give them our names and phone numbers to get called back when they did have vaccines. So half hour later, I finally gave them my name and phone number. Never got a call back. And it's like, really? We've seen exactly this situation coming for an entire year, and this is the very best we can do. I'm just happy to finally get a shot.
Yeah, I think Nevada has been ranked the worst for distributing the COVID. It's just been crazy here.
I'm hearing complaints from all over. A cousin in Utah, Jenny's youngest brother in New Jersey was telling me that he could have gotten vaccinated by now if he was simply 85 pounds heavier. Because unlike Washington, New Jersey throws BMI into the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I haven't heard of anybody who's getting it wonderfully right, but I guess I don't suppose you would.
So we're basically shushing, but indicating to Elendal's favorite person that where can we go where we can discuss matters.
Oh,
I
right.
mean, I assume we just follow her.
But she doesn't know why we're here yet, which is the oodles of Soulstones.
No, I'm pretty sure I told her about them.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole discussion with the exotic bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Session 18 already.
Have we been playing that long?
Apparently.
Did everybody level up to 8?
I think everybody did it, but just remember that you get a stat point this level.
Oh, I did not remember that.
I guessed you'd want to put it into wisdom, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's going to propagate through everything.
Also, if you go to the wiki page and look at the locations, under the elf home page, I have added some shops. So Denalessa is going to propose that you guys all go get a bath and some new clothing, since you're pretty raggedy, homeless-looking people at the moment.
Right away. Right away, she's going to try and get me naked again. It's wrong, I tell you. It's just wrong.
That's so common.
I constantly, yes. Constantly, I'm up here and I have to point at my eyes, you know? I am not just a piece of meat.
Says you.
I'm not. Respect me, gosh darn it. Respect
One of
me.
my favorite scenes ever on TV was from The Simpsons, where Homer's looking at some woman's breast and she says, "I'm up here," and he says, "I've made my choice."
Moldy mold. Moldy slimy mold.
Yeah, a moldy slime mold. A slime mold that has mold growing on
He
it.
is that bad.
Yeah,
You're gonna let this
That
guy
is
talk about your
mold
mom
upon
that way?
mold.
he's talking about you. I'm pretty sure mom's pronouns are she, her. Also, he's looking at you when he says it. So all evidence indicates that he's talking about you. But
That's what he wants you to think.
probably because it's who he's talking about, yeah. I know that I often want people to know who I'm referring to when I refer to someone.
Oh, I had a question on leveling up. Everything I see in wild shape, I've got the cape that lets me wild shape a couple levels above where I am.
Yep.
Which includes size categories. I think the smallest is diminutive and the largest is gargantuan, but I would get another size category if there were larger or smaller size categories. Are there?
No, your wild shape ability tops off at diminutive,
Diminutive,
and
okay.
gargantuan, regardless.
So no blue whales and no bacterium. Okay. How big are the baths? Like square footage?
The like total thing is big. It's like the size of a city park. But there are lots of different pools, and some of them for swimming, some for bathing, etc. It's big.
I think Golwyn will back me up that his grandmother can bake just fine. Unless something's happened in the last 20 years.
No, Grandma still makes good food.
In general, are the elves kind of artsy lotus eater type of culture?
Yes, I actually wrote a whole article on the wiki about them.
Okay.
Is this going to get creepy real quick? Just asking. I got a child involved here.
They have a lot of astral servants and invisible servitors all over the city, so you can pretty much expect to encounter them anywhere here.
All right. I bathe.
I'm curious about your statement. There's as much indoors as outdoors. Do we see wildlife fairly prevalent?
Um,
At least birds, I assume.
yeah, there are lots of birds and small animals, but they're decorative, and you think that calling them wildlife would be stretching a point considerably. They're very obviously pets, many of them enchanted.
Ah, okay. Lots of pigeons in the park
There's
types.
there's nothing that could really be described as wild here.
Okay.
So the uniform-looking clothes that come sailing in, would we be able to wear that over top of our armor?
Most of it is like is simple pants and shirts that you'd wear under your armor, and then like a uniform tabard that goes on over top.
Okay.
In general, is everybody in the city armed and armored, or just walking around looking pretty?
Well, you haven't really seen anyone wandering around at this point, so you're not sure.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean. I wander around looking pretty and fully armed. I can give you lessons if you want some.
I've seen the sexy turtle dance.
It's like a fine
Looks good to
wine.
me.
It gets better with age.
We all see it in our dreams. Hmm. was hoping you were going to be able to get lucky there. I mean, maybe you still can. I don't know what it's like in the halfling world.
Yeah, maybe cousin is just a term of endearment
Yeah.
in halfling culture. Is that...
Says the one who was going for pie.
Goldwyn backed me up. His grandmother can bake.
I think it cut. What is happening?
How do you pronounce that first name?
Ahia.
Ahia?
Mm-hmm.
So the first I is silent, essentially?
Yeah, basically. It's like a Y, but you have to swallow it, so it doesn't really make much of a sound.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we do have a bunch of stuff in the party loot that needs to be sold.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, actually.
You might want to sell, and I put values by everything so that you know about how much you'd get from selling it. If you guys want to figure out what you want to sell, and then total it up, and then you can distribute.
Yeah. Thank you. Every time I look at this list, I think that there's no way we should be getting rid of some of this. Actually, let's see. Things that give a bonus to the same stat do not stack, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Yet another fantastic power gaming idea out the window. Yeah, I don't see anything on that list that we actually wish to keep, or that I do anyway. I'm just surprised that we're really getting rid of it all. I'm also kind of surprised that like decent magic stuff is going for like 10 gold, 15 gold. Crystals can be slotted in anything with a crystal slot, correct?
Yes.
Are there like rings and that you're limited to 2 per person?
Unless you get that belt of the monkey.
Yes. You can normally only wear 1 ring in each hand.
Right. And so you can only have 2 crystals total on you.
The crystals go in armor or weapons.
I don't think I have any.
You have
I do
a
have a
magical
crystal.
collar that can hold a crystal, or your armor can hold one.
And I have armor that's already holding but I could use that crystal in my collar. Anybody mind if I take the crystal?
Do they only have one, or do they have multiple?
Which crystal is that crystal?
The crystal
party-
step.
The crystal of stealth +5 that's in party loot. Interestingly, it's named Crystal of Stealth +5, but it provides a +4 enhancement.
I know. I saw that too. I was kind of wondering.
Where can I look at the party loot?
Bought at the booth of false advertising.
There's a page for it on the items page.
Yeah, so if you go on the wiki and look in items, there's a party loot thing there.
Yeah, I don't need that. I've already got +5 to stealth, so.
Yeah, I've got great stealth, but nothing that actually increases my stealth. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take that and slot it in my collar. And since I'm doing that, it says Crystal of Stealth +5. Is it actually a +5 to stealth or +4 to stealth?
It's +5.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that off of party loot then. Oh, except I can't revise that page. I'm not sure when we picked that up. Maybe a cast off from Elendal.
Yeah, he's got an item that gives him stealth, so I put that in the party loot.
Sounds good. I'll take it.
All right, well, let's go shop and sell all that stuff. Split up the cash.
Yeah. I think we could sell everything in the party loot, except I took the Crystal of Stealth. Why doesn't everybody take one last look through that list before it gets liquidated?
I'm still not finding it. Which page is that on?
Doesn't
So-
your armor already have the crystal of wild shaping, where it
Yeah,
shapes with you? Yeah, you can only put one crystal on a suit armor.
right. This would go in the color.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me. It's.
Okay.
I guess I could be agnostic as to whether it's a weapon or an armor crystal. So.
Which page is the loot list on again?
Okay, so go to the wiki. It's just the wiki main page. And on the wiki, you should see... you should see items, but of course now I don't see
It's on
items.
the sidebar underneath the two people that looks like that's the characters.
Oh, yeah. So you see the little back thing that looks like a backpack? On the items page is a link to party loot.
And I just posted the link in the chat.
Thank you. There's the current party cash. Obviously, we can liquidate the gold and diamond ring. I'm okay with liquidating everything else.
Well, did we look at stuff like did the +2 gloves of Dex help Daz?
Daz has got his own gear.
Okay, good enough.
One
Good
thing I
thought,
might
though.
point out is that ironwood bark armor is worth way more in sales than you paid for it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We could start up a little business importing stuff from Stump.
Except
We
it's
We
illegal.
could.
And you'd
So
have
not
Somebody kick Ellen
Have
Dahl
we
under
met?
the table.
not that I probably need it, but I'll take the Ring of Accuracy for now. I so need to get power attack. Anyone have any issues with that?
Nope.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, you paid 50
Everybody has
silver
better than everything
for it, and it's worth 85 gold here. Oh no, sorry, you paid less than that.
We've got one bard. I don't know why I thought we had two. So, Adam, you don't need that cloak.
Which cloak?
Bard's
The
cloak.
Bard's cloak +2 to charisma and +5 enhancement bonus to perform.
He got a replacement item when you guys did your negotiating.
Yeah. I don't need it.
Okay. What? Being someone who has summoned flame elementals, do I have any idea what a rod of flame extinguishing would do to a flame elemental?
It basically would dismiss them.
I wonder if it's worth keeping just for that.
It's actually a pretty powerful item. It's just a bit situational in its use.
Yeah. Why don't we not sell that? I'm willing to carry it if
You
if
can
nobody else
put
wants
out
to.
whole forest fires with it and stuff.
Yeah.
So is it 1 plat is 10 gold?
Yes.
So can I also get 10 plat out of the party treasure?
For what? We're about to split the party treasure after we
Yeah.
sell all the extra stuff.
All right, go ahead and sell it and split it.
Okay. So, I don't suppose anybody has pre-added all this stuff. There's 8, 4. Yeah, I'm going to keep the rod of flame extinguishing just in case we ever actually need it. So I'll move that to my page. And nobody else wants anything else on the party loot list. Going once, going twice.
So you're keeping the
I'm
rod
coming
of flame extinguishing, the ring of accuracy, and the crystal of stealth.
Correct. So I'm coming up with a total of 553 gold to dispose of all of the loot, which would means party cash becomes 939 gold. Each platinum is worth 10 gold.
Yep.
So that's actually, I guess we care about the silver, don't we? How much silver is in each gold?
10 silver, 2 a gold.
Okay, so that's 242 gold. I'm coming up with a total of, I'm not going to worry about the copper, 2,474 gold divided by, does Daz get a full share?
He gets a half share.
Half share, so divided by 5.5. 450 each. 450 gold.
And
And
Daz
then,
gets 225 then?
say that again?
That means Daz gets 225 then?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll get 225, and
I forgot
as
to
far as I'm
level
concerned,
him.
he can have the copper.
I'll do it later.
Yeah, that's just weighing me down. Okay, so adding 450 gold.
To each of our character sheets, that blanks out the party loot spreadsheet for now.
Okay, so hang on. We're giving Daz 11,000 plus copper.
Unless,
I
I
don't care who has it. I don't care about copper.
how
I
much
know
is that?
11,000
Your
is.
total.
Divided by 200, and that's how much gold it is.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it?
I had to get back to the page.
11,000 divided by 200. 55 gold. So that's another 11 gold apiece.
$11,933 would come out to 60 gold. It's 59.5 gold each. I mean, that's basically a third of the gold split amongst all three of us. So he would actually be getting the lion's share Well, no, he wouldn't.
No,
59
I'm
gold in total, not each.
no. It's 59 gold each.
11,933 copper total.
11,933.
Divided by 200.
Divided by 200 is 59.665.
Right. Okay. Right.
Isn't that just how much gold it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So divided by 5.5. Equals 10.8 gold each. So I guess we ought to,
10 gold, 8 silver, basically.
yeah.
If we can change it, yeah.
Well, I'm going to pay with the the copper and silver.
Yeah, you can change it without difficulty.
So if I understand right, we're getting 450 gold from the magic items, and then another 10 gold, 8 silver from the copper that we're getting rid of.
Yep.
Correct.
And then how much are we getting for the silver? Or do we
What
just
was
want to
that?
leave the other cash in there for now?
It sounded like he divvied up the rest of the cash already.
That's what I was thinking he did.
The cash, it all got.
That's
into
part of the
big pile of
450 then?
money. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. I will buy some stuff.
For the items that are in the shops, do they have more than one or?
Yes.
Okay.
Here I am talking to myself. I'm at a loss at how much money we're getting now.
The total was going to be 450 from the party loot, and then
450 gold or platinum?
gold. And then after we wrested the copper out of Daz's hands and back into the party loot, it was 460 basically. What the hell am I supposed to do with a bag of spirit weed?
That's what we're supposed to be eating like once every 24 hours or something like that.
No, the spirit weed was the weed from, that'll get you high, man.
I thought that was the stuff that the elves had to eat to maintain their spell points and stuff like that.
To go into a trance?
No, that's trance dust.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay.
The spirit weed was what we got from the ganja man on the boat.
I'm sure it'll come in handy during some ridiculous wild empathy check at some point in the future.
Well, I am going to spend 450 gold, and I am going to get a belt of stone skin and a cape of the mountebank, or the mountebank.
I think it's mountebank, but I could be wrong.
You're the boss, however you pronounce it is the way it is.
Jenny, are you okay with us just converting this all into gold and silver, or do you want us to keep it as platinum?
Yeah, that's
gold,
fine.
silver?
You can, if you guys are going to go do some shopping and stuff, the elves are extremely wealthy. They have no difficulty changing your stuff out for you.
Elendal, I had just assumed that you were going to take your gold and put it all into a giant pile and sit on it. Where are you looking at a shopping list?
If you go to, if you look at Elfhome, and then you can look at a shop with magical equipment.
Uh,
Might want to look at the ritualist as well, because there's some rituals in there that might be useful to you guys.
Jenny, you've been busy.
Well, it's a major city. I kind of needed some time to prep it up. Because I figured the minute you got here, you're going to want to sell stuff and buy stuff and do all that little adventuring stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So the way rituals work, each one is a book, and it's something you can cast over and over and over again?
Yes, but it has a cost every time you cast it. And you also have to make a roll using your skill in order to cast it.
And what's the cost?
It's individual for each one, so it's listed under each one.
Okay.
They're all on the items page.
Oh, I see. Wow, some of these are, I mean, I'm not going to use it in combat, but tripling the growth
You can't use any ritual spells in combat. They take like 10 minutes to cast.
Okay. Oh, I can definitely, yeah, the commune with nature would have come in handy several times already. Monkey belt sounds like a cocktail.
So everything grinds to a halt while players go shopping.
I'm back to being practically poor.
Yeah, this is we haven't really had an opportunity to spend money much.
I'm aware.
What does the armor crystal of comfort do?
It basically puts the comfort affix on your armor, which means that you can sleep in it without being fatigued, and it otherwise does not. Basically, it makes it a lot more comfortable to wear. It's not a huge thing, but sometimes it can be beneficial. Let me see if I can find the full description. Armor of Comfort sheds dirt and sweat as they accumulate and remains comfortable as weather-appropriate clothing regardless of environmental conditions. A suit of armor with this enhancement always looks immaculately clean, can be slept in as though it were light armor, and does not cause a penalty to the wearer's saving throws to resist the effects of extreme heat. In cold weather, it counts as cold weather clothing. In addition, the armor's armor check penalty is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 0.
Now I can just D-door behind stuff and then backstab. And that's any one of you. I can D-door behind. Just so you know.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
have to
what-
wait a little while before you can stab.
Jenny, give me an example of
You
what
don't know
goes in
I'm
a
there.
body slot.
Body slot is like robes, vestments, that sort of thing. Vest, I think, also goes in the body slot.
I've got vestments, and those are in a chest slot. That's why I'm wondering, what's the difference between chest and body?
It's like arbitrarily assigned on the item type.
Okay.
Basically. Yes, we are doing a full-on old-school Monty Yellow Hall style campaign where there's just loot everywhere.
Has anybody... I'm about to snap up some of these rituals, but I want to wait until everybody else has looked at the list.
Well, the other ones in the party that can really be the primary caster on rituals are you and Lucha. Well, Daz
Lucha?
could also, but he's not going to buy any just for him.
One of the rituals we already have.
Yeah, the Risselvon shrinkage.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some really useful ones on that list.
I do want to throw out there just though for Golwyn, he might want to get you might want to get a stone skin belt since you love to jump into the mouth of things.
That seems like an awfully expensive solution when we could just paint a Mr. Yuck sticker on his shield. That would solve that problem too. Sweet.
Just cover him in tea tree oil and onion juice.
Or castor oil. He still gets snapped up occasionally, but he comes right back out covered in vomit.
That's funny.
Lucha, are you looking at this ritual list?
I looked at it and I really didn't see anything that floated my boat.
Okay.
Mostly because I'm looking at getting a staff made.
Okay.
But I have a number of questions on that. And I know Jenny and I talked about this briefly. There's a couple of rods and wands and that kind of stuff that I was after, which she didn't have time because damn, she did a lot of work. And it's the last part is just for me, so I sent her a list of stuff that I'd be looking for, plus getting a staff myself commissioned. But Jenny, I do have one question on commissioning a staff. Are
Yep.
cantrips considered like it says you can have X number of spells in a staff? But if I wanted cantrips in there, how many cantrips to a spell slot?
I'd say you can get 2 cantrips in for 1 slot.
Okay.
All right. Since we're going to be here for a while, it seems, can we make the rest of the shopping something that happens between now and next Thursday?
Yeah.
I'm good with that because, like I said, I got some questions and I'll be posting them regarding staffs.
I do have one question before we do that. Can I wear slippers of spider climbing, like, with my armor? Because I assume my armor involves boots.
The boots on your armor are not considered part of a magic item slot, so yes.
Okay.
And if you look at like real suits of armor, the greaves and what are considered armored boots are actually just plates that go over leather boots that you normally wear.
If you click the link to my character sheet, I actually created a chart under magic items for the slots of what you can wear.
It's a tremendously handy chart.
Alright, so...
The only thing that technically doesn't is the weapons, basically, but you can pretty much get the idea when you look at head through feet. Because you'll see armor actually has its own slot.
When we buy one of these things, is there 5 others on the shelf, or are we buying
Yes,
the only?
they have more than one. So
Okay.
you guys can buy.
So we can just put it on our character sheet and deduct the cost, and we're done.
Yep.
Very good.
I'm good.
I'm good. That went most of my gold. I saved up just enough to cast some of these rituals.
All right. So now what do we do? We're at the Halfling Circus. So is there like a human working at the Halfling Circus as the world's tallest halfling?
That's so racist.
Just saying, you know.
Yeah. I don't think we would lie.
Oh, come on, it's a circus.
Well, all of a sudden I've got a use for gold. And none left. Delete elf clothes. There's no other kind of elf clothes. Hey kiddo, I was distracted and something went completely by me. Did you send a text to me only saying you might be able to do something with that here as elves love that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's when you were talking about the bag of weed.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's been more than a month. You had to travel to Stump first. It's been over a month of you adventuring from Stump to here.
Do we have the chicken hut still with us?
That's up to you.
We haven't left it anywhere.
Did we want to keep it with the party, or do you want to look at parking it someplace?
I think park it here.
Or, I mean, realistically, is this something that we want to keep in the party, or do we just want to sell it?
We could lease it to the circus,
I think we
so
might
it's a steady
want
flow
it
of income,
someday.
and it's still ours. We can
yeah,
let them use it as an attraction, pay us a little something for it, but it's still ours.
What the heck did it eat?
Chicken feed. You're not entirely sure how it eats because it doesn't appear to have a beak anywhere, or how it manages to make chicken noises because again it doesn't appear to have a beak anywhere, but it does.
yeah, we've never seen it poop, which I hope
Thank God.
saving it up for like one big annual dump or something.
I'm sure somebody would pay extra for that. I don't know what sick son of a bitch that is, but I'm sure somebody.
When you say as if by magic, are you using a figure of speech, or did he actually poof in?
No, he came in through the side of the tent.
Okay.
My humps. My humps. Doesn't the canoe have like what 10 gnome heads?
Was it gnomes or goblins? I guess it was gnomes, wasn't it?
Gnomes.
Yeah.
Hey, it is time for me to give my dogs their meds, so I'm going to be listening on the headphones, but I'm not going to be able to read.
I just finished reading the entry on elven culture, which is pretty cool. Elendil and Golwyn are not outsiders, correct? Because otherwise, Denalissa wouldn't even acknowledge them. And according to what I just read, or are they?
They are basically she's kind of cheating.
Okay. And it seems to me it would be well worth it to run the whole story of Stillness and the webs of the gems and the dragons and the soulstones past Denalissa, and maybe even get consultation by other higher up elven wizards, because if anybody's going to know what's going on, it seems like it would be the elven wizards.
Yeah. Oh no, it's the Monkey King.
So does it look like Stillness, or no? I'm sorry, not Stillness. Was it Stillness? That
Yep.
or
Yeah.
Kinda.
It was Stillness, but Stillness was man-sized. He wakes up and introduces himself as Dan. Steely Dan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was hoping for. Something I can track, I assume.
Yeah, it's got quite a powerful smell, even though it shows signs of having been buried in the dirt for a considerable amount of time.
I shall counter your pun with, gee, together we have Steel Panther.
So is there anything I can discern about it?
I can see us investigating this site in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I heard something about you needed to find out some information about something. Is this something that requires an Arcanum check?
You can certainly make one.
Yeah, you might get
Okay,
some
I'm
information.
still not back at my computer. I'm trying to force feed some medicine into a dog.
So,
My Arcanum is 26. If somebody wants to roll.
Not it.
Oh, and then +5. Because it's an int. So 31. And I'm just on the last piece of food that he needs to eat, so unfortunately I got some dog on meds that he really does not like.
he used to really struggle with that until my wife found pill pockets. And
Yeah, pill pockets. Right now the food that we're giving him, he actually likes and he eats on a regular basis, but he's on antibiotics. He's got an inflamed heart.
Hmm.
And it's pushing up against his esophagus, so he just doesn't want to eat. We have to force him.
oh,
Oh, poor thing.
Yep. Okay, I got food into him. I apologize, Al, but he is very regimented on his
That's no
food
problem.
times. You know, it's the one thing that sucks about having rescues is we tend to have problem children as their dogs.
Okay, so I'm thinking whatever powers this thing is not connected. You know, kind of like if you disconnected the arteries from our hearts. I assume you guys all have hearts. I don't have one. Anyway, do you want me to try and fix
Yeah,
it?
according to my ex-wife, I don't have one either.
That's what's wrong with the world. All the quest givers are these guys, and they're dead.
If you're looking at the map, I'm gonna ping about where they found it.
Okay.
In the foothills.
Just look for the yellow exclamation point and plug it in.
I think the key difference is the power source is disconnected. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, I'm back at my PC.
gadgets.
Gadgets
Yeah.
Arcanum. If ye have it.
That was not a particularly good guess, troll.
It would be a straight up 20 either way. Might as well. Look at that. But I got the same roll as Elendal, but it was natural.
No, you forgot the D in the D20.
Oh, duh. I was about to be really impressed.
Well, just so happens we can probably get those parts back in Elfhome.
Yes, easily. Elves are very commonly either wizards or artificers, so they have all that kind of stuff in quantity.
I suspect we could find an artificer or a wizard who would attempt to fix it just for the challenge and interest. Same reason we are.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You can probably fix it yourselves if you just get some materials.
Do we know roughly how much those materials would cost?
You'd have to go find someone who sells them first.
That's back in Elfhome. Remind me where we left the discussion of the factions coming to divvy up soulstones. Has that been scheduled?
No. Basically, from what I remember, you guys pretty much decided that you were going to go to Elfhome and talk to the Elven Guard and see how they
Right.
want to run it.
But didn't Elendil also notified
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's his face dickhead in the Adventurers Guild? He didn't actually go by what's his face dickhead. What was his name?
We can go by what's his name, dickhead.
You know him. Cadmer.
I mean, at least we know with what's his face, dickhead, we know who we're talking about.
You know exactly who we're talking about.
Can we tell this guy what it is we think we need, and maybe he can tell us what it'll cost? Give us a.
Mark is not mechanically savvy enough to tell you that.
Okay.
And the halflings are, in adventuring terms, they are not wealthy. They make a decent living, but they're not rich.
So like a typical carny.
No. A little better off.
They're a little bit better off in that they don't basically spend all of their earnings on boozing and living high in the off season because they have an actual home to return to, and it's all a family business, so they're a little more organized and so forth. But especially basically Zenny is the kind of the leader, and she controls the purse strings, and she is very pinch penny. She's one of those those people. It's like, oh, it broke, huh? Well, make a replacement. No, don't buy one. Make one.
Gotcha.
Those axles can last another 6 months, no problem.
So we've got 3 objectives at the moment that I see. One is to go investigate where this thing was found. One is to repair it, and I think we still need to send word to the to the dwarves, so that a conclave of the 3 factions can be gathered to dispose of the stones. Or did we decide to just give them all to the elves?
No, I did ask for them to send a message to the Dwarf Guild when we sent it to the Adventurers Guild.
So that is being set up independent of us.
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah,
on
because
its
there's
own
supposed to
timeline.
be a dwarven emissary or whatever at the Adventurers Guild in Polis.
So that's probably going to come together by itself in a matter of days. In the meantime, do we want to try and fix this thing or go investigate where?
I would prefer to
Well-
try and fix it first, see if we can get any information from it.
Yep,
Okay.
that's kind of my
Well-
thoughts too.
And roughly where she was pinging is about 14 days away.
Yeah, this little halfling caravan gets around quite a lot.
That's not what I wanted.
So if we want, we can, run back to
It's only
Elf
700
Home,
miles.
see about getting parts.
700 miles and we don't have a map. That's a very distinctive smell. Yeah, so I think the investigating its source probably comes last, after we try and fix it and after we dispose of the soul stones.
Yep.
About at this time, Yahia Silver comes back from doing her work and joins you guys.
He could communicate in writing some, but that was about it, right?
Kind of sign language, yeah.
So, yeah,
We never.
is family, correct? Same thing with Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harold is related to most of the halflings here in some way. They're a huge extended family.
They're from the Ozarks.
Well, it's also to halflings in this world, your family includes like third and fourth cousins. So it's a lot of people.
We never asked Stillness if he'd always not been able to, make noise. So it'll be interesting to see if this one can't talk either.
That's right. We all should talk at the same time.
Well,
I'm joking.
I'll let you go. This is definitely a case where
No, I mean,
unity of
go. I mean,
command
it's
helps.
part of it.
This is gonna be interesting. Oh, this is fantastic. I love it.
Do we remember how many gemstones were still lit?
You guys didn't count. There were lots. Can we just say that basically you guys babble and make cracks and eventually the story emerges?
Yeah.
I'll answer whatever questions she wants to pose for as long as she wants to pose questions. What's clearly going to come out fairly quickly is that we are as mystified as anybody else. There's still a whole lot of the story we don't know. And as we're telling the story, I would be keenly interested in her opinions as to who the big booming voice is, what the connection might be between stillness, his web map, the dragons, the Soulstones. She's got a, this is like the royals. Everybody's got to have an opinion. And I'll let her know that we're returning to Elfhome for the second ginormous conclave, probably in the next few days, of the three main factions of people that are interested in Soulstones to dispose of this second cave of Soulstones. That's what brought us to the area.
Kind of a little late to start keeping secrets, but
That's the point. What makes it funny?
ooh, a show. Dinner and a show. I'm imagining a song to the tune of Bop by the Hanson Boys. What I'm imagining here.
It's a little on the long side, sorry.
Maybe the problem is summer is coming.
Soulstones are actually dragon eggs. We now have their babies
They're
inside
gonna
of us.
burst out our chest like aliens.
Yep.
Okay. Refresh me. Poison is one, and that's clear. Is heat or fire another?
Yes.
Yeah, that's sandpit,
Yeah.
bottom right.
And cold?
Great ice to the north.
Mm-hmm.
You got poison to the bottom left.
Blight. I don't think we've had any experience with blight yet. What does Nim the Many refer to?
Are you asking her or me?
Her having
Good
no
answer.
familiar.
Good
I
answer.
mean, we know thunder, blight, frost, and fire. I've never actually burned my pinkies on a many.
That's Tiamat.
Chauga the Blightworm, we heard a reference to last session.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, so darkness and night. The Eater of Hope. Well, none of these, so... Are any of these good dragons?
No. In fact, the worms are kind of like the evil deities of this world.
Okay. Who opposed the worms?
The gods.
Ah,
However,
so
there's a slight caveat to that in that the worms are very much known to exist and be real things. The gods, not so much. I mean, people have faith in the gods, and they give to the gods and they ask the gods for blessings, but the gods don't really interfere in daily life. You don't like meet servitors of the gods or anything like that. They're real religious belief. But the worms are physical things that exist. So, some people believe that there are no gods, the worms are all there are, and they make sacrifices to the worms and become warlocks. But inasmuch as there's alignment, the worms are definitely evil or at least extremely dangerous and fickle.
Is there a place on the wiki that has the song that we heard at the Adventurers Guild?
Yes.
Can't seem to find that one.
I know I made a page for it, but I forget where it's might be under.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. We're building a world as we
It's
play.
under the human culture page.
Yeah, we're building a world as we play, and just like anything in any large project, stuff does get kind of lost.
I'm trying to add stuff to the wiki so that at least it's all there somewhere.
Oh, Jenny, you don't seem to understand. I really
is
appreciate
fabulous.
everything that you've done. I mean, the stuff that you and I have talked about, you have been on it like pretty much right away. Building staves and wands and everything like that. I think the next week you had all that stuff together. But like anything, there's only you're one person trying to do the job of many.
And I'm going to want to stop here in about 15 minutes because that'll be midnight for me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd like to do is, basically while you guys are doing all this stuff, I'm going to head back to Elf Home and try and find out, what the cost of all those parts and everything are.
Yeah, we can just cover that real quick. You think that you can get all the bits you need for 15 gold.
And everything is available?
Yep.
Yeah, big city.
Yeah, you rolled really well on your Arcanum, so.
So the question that I'd have is, would the party be willing to split the cost? And 15 gold amongst 5 people is 3 gold each.
Yep. I'm taking it off my character sheet now.
Okay. So we can each take 3 gold off the character sheet, and I'll buy all the parts to get them fixed that I'm pretty sure is needed.
Did you tell Yahya about the voice that spoke to you when you went to the second dragon?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, including exact quotes. Like, to the extent we can remember, he said something taunting after we killed the dragon just to let us know that there was more coming.
Are you serious about the ticking?
No, that's a joke. Be hilarious for a short while. So these are all great hypotheses to pose to the assembled muckety-mucks of dwarves and elves and adventurers guild in a few days.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's more than just the Soulstones that we're going to talk about, because there's something changing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we're all gathered here, I kind of like that it's in the Elven City, because I don't know, to me it's a little bit more neutral than in the Guild City. And kind of on Elendal's heels, I just got notified that my time's up also.
The dreamland beyond the great trees. Ping on the map where the dreamland beyond the great trees is.
It's in the Elfwood.
Okay.
I can't believe a druid's asking where the great tree is. The one you peed on last night.
So there's a clear breadcrumb for what we need to do next.
Yep.
Fix the construct, talk to the huntsman. For all we know, where the construct was found could be a complete dead end, and it's a week away.
More like 2 weeks, but yeah.
2 weeks. Those halflings are still just kind of stashed at the garrison on the river?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shall we call it there?
Yep.
Sure.
Really cool, Jenny. Very interesting. I didn't roll to hit anything, but it was kind of fascinating. And I like the... before we go, the elf culture was kind of fascinating. What else have you put up here that I might not have read?
There's also a page on human culture.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to read that one, especially the song at the end.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. We will talk to you next week.
Yep.
All right. Good
Bye,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Night.
Good night.